Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Rorowa deck profile for June 2025. Wanted to update the Rorowa deck. This is one of my favorite glitter decks, and we also got a new monthly promo to help support the deck in the form of a new grade 2 unit. And I also wanted to change around some of the adjustments I've made to the deck since the 6th set for the Cardfight Vanguard booster set for the Divines series. It's just a very, very fun deck that focuses on being able to call out the many different plant tokens, our Momokke token, and then use the companion glitter unit, Radylina, in tangent with our new form of the Crossing Interdimensional Thoughts, Rorowa, which is the form of Rorowa bestowed upon with the power of Chronos Command Dragon, as you can see here in the background. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll start off with the ride deck as usual with the energy generator. Our starter being Bioroid Youth Rorowa. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Awakening from Slumber Rorowa. When placed by riding from Bioroid Youth Rorowa, call up to one plant token from your back row center rearguard. So this just gives you that token to then also potentially provide a boost if you did go second against your opponent. The grade 2 being the World 3,000 Years Later Rorowa, being when placed on Vanguard, retire one of your rear guards, call up to 2 plant tokens to rear guard. So you can just retire the plant token that was behind the grade 1 Rorowa to then call 2 additional ones, with our grade 3 being Crossing Interdimensional Thoughts Rorowa, along with the copy in the ride deck. We also run the 3 additional copies in the main deck as well. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, all your tokens get auto rearguard when your Vanguard is attacked. Retire this unit, and all your Vanguards get +5 until the end of that battle, and plus 5,000 power. So basically giving you the added option for your token units to have the additional power boost thanks to Rorowa, and then the additional use of the original shield from the first Rorowa we ever received. It has plenty of different card abilities with a Vanguard once per turn to Energy Blast 3, draw a card, and call 2 plant tokens to rearguard, giving you consistency along with just more plant tokens. And on the Vanguard circle once per turn, you can choose a glitter from your rearguard or soul, put it on the bottom of the deck, and perform one of the following according to the card name of the chosen for this cost. If it was a card with Rorowa, you choose one of your opponent's rearguards and put it on the bottom of the deck, implementing his own power with the spin ability of Gear Chronicle into this deck. If it was a card with Radylina, you search your deck or drop for up to 1 unit card with grade -1 of that card, call it to rearguard, and search your deck to shuffle the deck. So this one is implementing the Time Leap ability of Gear Chronicle into this unit. So just being able to choose a card from rearguard or soul with the glitter option. So Radylina on the rearguard, and then the Rorowas from the soul. The additional grade 3s we run include the 4 copies of Undoubting Flamesword Radylina. At the beginning of your main phase, if you do not have a Momokke token on rearguard, call up to 1 Momokke token to rear, and it glitters with Rorowa. From the hand at the end of the battle, your unit with Radylina and its card name attacked. If your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, retire a rearguard with Radylina and its card name and a Momokke token, call this card to rear, and that unit's power increases by the power of the Momokke token retired for the ability. So if your Momokke token was at 25k power, you could have this Radylina be at 30k when it attacks, and it gives you the additional attack, and also be able to provide you with a Momokke token at the beginning of the next turn, since you would have retired it for its own skill as well. For the grade 2s, we're running 4 copies of the original Dragritter Girl of Flame Blossoms, Radylina. Being able to, if you do not have a Momokke token, counter +1, call 1 Momokke token to rearguard, and it glitters with Rorowa. And on rearguard, when this unit attacks, you can Soul Blast 1, choose one of your token units in the same column as this, and it gets the power of that unit to that battle. So being able to then just swing with our Radylina and then have the Soul Blast option to power it up with the power of the Momokke token. For those of you that don't know, the Momokke token on rearguard once per turn, you can retire 1 or more of your other rearguards, and this unit gets +5 for each retired for this cost. So most of the time you want to retire the tokens that you called out with Rorowa to then use to power up Momokke. And on rearguard, if you have a unit with Radylina in the same column as this, it can attack from the back row. So on top of the Momokke attack, you have the Radylina attack, and then the potential grade 3 to retire both of them for 1 additional attack also. For additional grade 2s, we do have the final form of Momokke also. We're running 4 copies of Shell-Breaking Wings Momokke. This card cannot be called to rearguard other than by this card's ability. If it's on rearguard, it's also regarded as a token named Momokke. And from the hand or drop, if you have a grade 3 Rorowa Vanguard, retire a grade 0 Momokke token, call this card to rearguard. When it's placed on rearguard during your turn, retire another rearguard, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. So being able to utilize the tokens in a way to retire your opponent's units than just having to call them out to power up Momokke. And it glitters with Rorowa as well. On rearguard, if you have a unit with Radylina and its card name in the same column as this, if you not have another Momokke unit, this unit can attack from the back row, and your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, it gets +10. So then it has its own power to be able to utilize, and also being able to regard as a token unit with Momokke means we can also power it up with some of our other cards, being able to give it plus power with cards like Resolute Pair of Eyes. The new grade 2 promo which we run is the Spinning Corolla Remy and Yes. When it's placed on rearguard with a token unit, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 glitter or up to 1 order card without Regala's piece from among them, reveal it, put into your hand, and shuffle the deck. So just being able to search for the many different glitter units that we run in the deck is almost a guarantee thanks to this card by just placing it on top of a token. And on rearguard, when this unit attacks a grade 3 glitter unit, if you have a token unit on your rearguard, it gets +5 till the end of battle. As additional power for just swinging into the grade 3 Vanguard to be able to at least have this 10k hit if we don't have a boost to provide for it also. And then the rest of the grade 2s being the 3 copies of Nurturing, Watering, It's a Kalina. When placed on rearguard from hand, if your Vanguard is a glitter, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose 1 glitter from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. And then if you put a card in the hand, you put this card in the soul. So very similar, just search power. You want to always be able to have your Radylinas, your Momokkes all set up. So the rest of the grade 2s are just providing that consistency to have those cards on our rearguard circles. For the grade 1s, we're running 3 copies of Burrow Mushroom. You just put this unit into the soul and call out 2 plant tokens. So after you use your plant tokens for, let's say, some of your other power-ups, you can use your burrow mushrooms to provide more and also give you more soul power as well, whether you need them for the grade 2 Radylina or the use for our other cards, which we run in the deck for the soul build-up power. But most of the time, it's just going to be used for the Radylina power-up that we have in the deck also. And then additional grade 1s include 2 copies of Fairy of Flower Nectar Cotier. When placed on rearguard from hand, if you do not play an order this turn, discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 order without Regala's piece, discard it, and it gets the ability to be played from the drop. When it will be put into the drop after being put on from the order zone, you put on the bottom of the deck instead. So just another way to search out our orders. As I said, a lot of the cards in this deck just help to search out the engines that we need for our pieces, with the remaining grade 1s being our Elementaria Sanctitude, and then the 3 Custodial Dragons, just the standard Sentinel lineup, with our orders that we run in the deck being the 3 copies of Resolute Pair of Eyes. You play it with a Counterblast 1 and retire a rearguard if you have a Vanguard with Rorowa and its card name. When this card is put into the order zone, search your deck for up to 1 card with Radylina and its card name, reveal it, put in your hand, and shuffle the deck. And it also provides your back row tokens with +5 power, making them 10k attack tokens on the back row rearguard circles. And then the last order we run is just the Regala's piece, the top power source for search in this deck from the hand or drop, being able to give you more of a search power or draw power if you didn't reveal a card for it. If the reveal card is a glitter, put it in your hand. If the reveal card is equal to your Vanguard's grade, call it to rearguard. So set up depending on what we want to use the final Fire Regalis for. And then our trigger lineup consists of the 7 critical with the Aspiring Maiden Elena for the put into soul option. The hand is a big weakness of the Rorowa deck, so we definitely do need consistency. So we're running the 4 draws just to always have cards put back into our hand, and then another way to add and provide power to our Momokke, which then in turn can provide power to the Radylinas. The 4 copies of the generic heal, so Repose, Pixie, Petronella, and our over trigger is the Bless Favor option for the heal power that can provide on top of the additional pressure for the added power to our Vanguard and front row units. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, I always love updating this deck. It's one of my favorite glitter decks and definitely one of the most supported ones. So a lot of changes to be made every so often with this deck also. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.